Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today in this tutorial I'm going to show you how we can add data to Firebase Firestore database and how we can get those data to display in our app, and then we will see how we can delete those data from Firestore database. So in this tutorial we will be doing all of the CRUD operations except updating. So as you can see over here, this is our React Native social app which we are building by using Firebase. So here you can see we have some posts present, right? And these post data are static. It is not coming from database. It is present right now to show you how the UI will look. And these posts are coming from an array, and these things I have done previously in this tutorial series. If you are new to this series, then I will suggest you to check this tutorial series from the beginning. Then it will be easier for you to understand and follow along with me. So in our previous tutorials we have already done Firebase authentication, social authentication, and along with that I have also shown you how we can upload photos to our Firebase storage in my last tutorial. So this is the direct continuation with that, and now I'm going to add post along with those images in our Firestore database, and then we will display those images and post as well in our home screen or this feed screen. So if you find this tutorial interesting to you, then hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell icon so that you get notified whenever I post a new tutorial on this channel. So without wasting any more time, let's get started with the tutorial. This video is brought to you by Hostinger. Hostinger is a one-stop solution for all your web hosting related needs. Here you will find web hosting for small to large scale projects, as they have shared web hosting, WordPress hosting, VPS hostings to offer. So you will find services which will meet your requirement perfectly. Also they are providing free domain and SSL certificate with their web hosting. And the best part is that they are providing huge discounts on the pricing of these services in this holiday season. And if you buy any services of them from the link given below and use this coupon code, you will get another discount up to 7% on top of their sale. And also, as you can see over here, they are providing 24/7 chat support. If you face any kind of difficulty, then you can get help from their professionals. And also if you are not satisfied with their services, then you can get a refund within 30 days. So that is also another good thing to have. So you are not losing any money by trying out their services. So this is one of the best web hosting providers out there. And you can click on this globe icon to select your country and buy the service with your local currency. So check out Hostinger by the link given in the description below. So here in the submit post function, we can see that we are uploading the image and we are uploading it to our Firebase storage, and that we can do from here. We can take photo or choose photo, right? Now we are just uploading the image, but we are not getting the image URL which will display the image. So we will do that first, and then we will upload that URL to our Firestore along with our post data. So here first let me change few things. So I'm creating a new variable called storage ref, and this will contain the reference of our storage, and I will upload these files to photos directory, and here I can use that reference, so it will work as before. And this reference I will use to get the image URL after uploading it. So here with this task we are uploading the image to our storage, and then after it we will get the image URL, and here we will use this reference variable, and then we need to use this get download URL, and with this function we will get the URL of the image, and we have to use this await for it, and then after it we can return this URL, and if we are having an error then we will return null. And this thing we are doing within this submit post function, but this is the one part of the post. We are handling just the image over here, right? It is not the complete post. We are not handling this text, so I will make it a separate function. So I have changed this function as upload image, and I will create submit post function. and here we will call this upload image function, and we will store that URL within this image URL variable, and let me output it in our console. Now save it. Now let's see. Now choose a photo. The photo is visible over here. Now click on post. So image has been uploaded, right? Here we can see the image URL. So copy it, and now if we check it on our browser, then we can see the image is visible. So this is the image download URL, and this is we are getting as our response. So we will store this in our Firestore database, and if we see in our storage, then here we can see that we have few images present which I have uploaded in my previous tutorial, but right now I am uploading it to photos directory. So photos directory has been created, and within this directory we can see the image, right? So it has been uploaded successfully, and we can see the download URL from which we can display the image or we can download it. So now we need to use this image URL along with this text, whatever we will type over here, right? So now for it we need to install Cloud Firestore in our app. So for that I will copy this command, and as I am using npm, so I will use npm install, then the package name. So it has been added successfully, and then we need to do this pod install. So copy paste this command and hit enter, and this is only for iOS. Okay, so here is an error which is version mismatching. So you need to make sure that all of these Firebase packages are in same version, otherwise it may crash. I will update this thing. I will skip this part, and then we will continue with the rest of the tutorial. If you want to know about this process, then you can check out my previous tutorial where I have shown you to implement this Firebase storage. In that tutorial I have already mentioned these steps. Here I will not going to repeat it. So these packages have been updated, and I have installed Firestore successfully. Now go back to our root directory. Now we can start implementing our submit post function, and for that we need to first go to our Firebase, and here we need to go to this Cloud Firestore menu, and here we need to create the database. In this pop-up we have these two options, start in production mode and start in test mode. But remember, if you select the test mode, then the database will be deleted after 30 days. So I will not select that. I will select this start in production mode. Now click on next, then click on this enable. So Firestore has been set up successfully. Now we can create database over here, and in this database we can create collection. So we can start with collection ID, and our collection will be post, and then we can add a data for this collection. But I am not going to add data from here. I will add data from our application. So I can click on this cancel. Now let's see how we can create the data. So for that, go to this writing data. Now here we can see the code for adding a document, and a document means data. So first we need to import Firestore from the Firestore package, then we can point to the collection, and then we can add data like this. So now let's first import Firestore. Then after this Firestore we have to specify the collection, and our collection will be post, and then we can use this add method to add a data, and here we will add user ID. So these are the data which we want to store in our database, and this data is similar to this data which we are using to display post in our home screen. So first we need to get the user ID for the user who is logged into our app, right? And that ID we can get from our context which is present in our profile screen. Here we are fetching the user, and from the user UID we are getting the user ID. So I can copy these codes and import use context from React. Now we can use this user to get our user ID. Now for the post, we need to introduce another state for the post which will handle the text of this field. So for that, here I am creating a state called post, and by default it will be null. And for this input field on change text, we will update our state with this field content, and then we can use that over here. So this post is our state post, and then for this post image we will use this image URL, and for the post time we will get the timestamp from Firestore. And for likes and comments I will upload null, and then if it is success, then within console I will return this. Otherwise, for any kind of error, we will get the error and we will output it in our console. Now let's test it. So first choose a photo and then a text for the post. Now click on this post. Okay, so image has been uploaded, but here we can see that we have some error over here. Okay, let's do some update over here. For the value of it, it will be post state, and after uploading it successfully I will update set post as null. Now check it once. Select an image and type a post. Now click on post. Now after that, here we can see that something went wrong. So for this we need to go to rules, and here we have this false, and we need to replace this with true and publish it. Now after publishing it, let's test it once. So again choose the photo and add a post. Now after clicking on the post, here we can see the response. The post has been added, and let's see in our Firestore. Refresh this page, and here we can see the post and our data has been added, and here we can see the post text, the post image URL, then post time, the timestamp, and then the user ID, which is the user which is logged in to our app. So that's how our post has been added. Now here we can provide this alert. After post has been added successfully, we can display this alert. Now test it again. Now click on this post, and then our post has been published successfully, right? And here we can see that another post has been added. So that's how our post is adding, and it's working perfectly. Now we need to get those posts in this home screen or feed screen. And right now we are not storing username and user image to our post data. As you can see over here, we are not storing those, we are just storing this user ID. With this user ID we will get username and user image later when we will work on user profiles. So right now we will not store this username, user image with post data. We will fetch those data by this user ID. So that's why I have stored this user ID. And now within this home screen we need to fetch those data from Firestore. And for that, let's see, here in snapshots we can see that we can get the collection data like this. So first we need to import Firestore. Let me import that over here. Then I will fetch those data in this home screen, and I will pass that data within this flat list data. To fetch those data we will need use effect hook. And here we have the dependency, and if we are not providing any dependency within this array, that means it will run every time when this component renders. So whenever our component will render, that time we will fetch our data. And make sure you import this use effect from React, not from here. And here let's create a function fetch posts, and it will be asynchronous function, and within it we will use try catch block. Within try block we will try to fetch data, and if any error occurs then we will catch it. Now within this try block, for the post collection we will get the data, and then for this query we will get a snapshot, and we can output it in our console query snapshot.size, and to run this function we need to call it. Now save it. Now after saving it, this component has been rendered once. Now we can see this message has been printed in our console log. So total post is 2. And we have 2 posts present in our database, right? So it's working perfectly. Now after it, for each of these query snapshot data, we will get document, and for each data of this snapshot we will get document, and from each document we will get the data by this data method, and it will hold data for these fields. So if I want to get the post, then I can get it like this. If I want to get post image, if the field name is post image, I have to provide that as it is. Now we can use this data to create an array which is present over here. So like this array, we will generate another array by fetching this data from our Firestore. For that, first let me create an empty array. So here I have created this list array, and I will add data to this array by using this push method. So first we have this ID username. Let me copy this and paste it here. So we will use this data. So for the ID, we will get ID like this, and it will be wrapped within a curly brace. Now for username, as we are not storing any username over here, as of now I will add any name to create our array. Later we will fetch it by user ID. So let me store that user ID as well, but right now it's not useful. It will be useful later when we will work on user profile. For this user image, we have this post image, so we can use that. Now for the post time, we have this post time, so we have to grab that. Now we can use it. For the post, we have post present. As the both name is equal, so we can just get rid of it. It will be similar to post equal to post. Okay, I have made a mistake. This is the user image. So for user image, I will not use post image. For user image, I will use a generic image. Right now I am using this image. Later we will get it from our user profile. So for post image as well, we are fetching the same data and storing it in same name, so we can get rid of it. For liked, it will be false, and for likes, we can get it from likes and comments. So here also I can get rid of these things. Now after it, I can output in our console log to see if it is working properly or not. So save it. Now after saving it, let's see, we have some error. Okay, can't find user ID. We have made a mistake. We haven't fetched the user ID yet, so we need to get that. After fetching it from our document data, then we can use it. Now we can see the post array has been visible, but we cannot see it. Let me connect it with React Native debugger. Now debug it. So now it has been connected with our React Native debugger. If you are not familiar with React Native debugger, then just do a Google search with React Native debugger and you can download it. Then you can connect it with your app. So now here we can see that array, and within that array we can see that our object is present. So all our data is present over here. So it's working perfectly. Now we can use this array to display our data in our home screen, and for that we need to introduce a state, and that state will be called post, and make sure you import it from React. And then after it, I will create another state called loading, and we will update it by this set loading, and by default it will be set to true. And we can use this loading to display loader over here while our data is being fetched from the internet, from the Firestore. After fetching the post, we can update our post with this list array, and then if loading is true, then we can set loading as false. And then after setting this post state, we can use it here to pass the data. So here it will be post. So now we are not using this array, we are using this post state to provide the data to our flat list. And now nothing is showing over here because we need to update few things in our card component. So here within component we have this post card. Here for this user image I need to provide URI as it is now being fetched from the URL from the internet, and here also it will be URI and it will be not equal to null. And then for this post time I will convert it to string. Now let's reload it once. Now here we can see that post is null. I am outputting the state and the state is not updating yet. State is showing as null because it's not getting updated. When it's updating the state, that time our list is not prepared yet. So here we need to use await for it, and then we can see that our data is present and it's showing over here perfectly, right? So it's working as we wanted. Now I want to handle another thing. If we are not uploading any image, we are just posting some text, then how we will create it? So we need to handle that within this add post screen. When we are uploading the image, that time we are getting this image from our image state and we are updating this image state from our image picker functions. And if we are not picking any image, that means we don't have any value within this image state. So if image is null, then we can return null, and if we are returning null, that means when we are calling it, that time our image URL will be null. Now if I post anything, click on this post, your post has been published successfully. Now let's see. So here another post has been added and this post is without any image and post image is set to null. So it's also working perfectly. So after saving it, our component re-renders and then we can see our new post is present. So you can implement the re-render functionality after adding the post to display that post in home screen. Here I'm not going to do that. Now I'm going to show you how we can delete the post. So the current user is creating this post, right? We can display button over here, trash bin, and I will display this button if the post has been created by the user. So any logged in user will be seeing this button if that post has been created by that particular user. So for that, here I need to provide a checking, and for that checking, first I need to grab the logged in user's user ID, and to get that I can use this auth context provider and import this use context from React. And now I can use this user ID equal to our item user ID. We are storing the user ID for each post. So this is the post creator's user ID, right? If the current user ID matches with the user ID of the post creator, then we will display it. Otherwise, we will render null. Now we can see that there is no change because all of this post has been created by this user. Now let's open this app in Android emulator so that we can test our app in Android as well, and over there I will log in as different user. And now within this Android emulator we can see that our posts are present, but we cannot see that delete button because this is another user and this user didn't created this post, so this user doesn't have the permission to delete it. Now let me create few posts by this user. So we will take few images and now post it. So our post has been published. And now we can see that our post is at the bottom, but I don't want that. I want to see the latest post at the top, and for this post we can see this delete icon. So our delete icon is present for the user who is the creator of the post, right? And for all of the posts we are displaying the same username and the same user profile image because we haven't worked with user profile yet. These are the static data. Other than these two, every other component of the post are dynamic. Now let me order it. So to order it, we can use this order by, and I will order it by post time, and it will be in descending order. Now save it. Now we can see that latest post at the top of the screen. Now we need to work on this delete functionality, and for delete I will create a new function called delete post, and for this function we will accept post id, and we can pass this function to our postcard component. And here I will create this onDelete prop, and for this onDelete prop I will pass this delete post function, and for this button we will provide that function and we will accept it over here. Then we can use it, and we will pass item id, which is holding the id of the post, right? Now if we do a console log for the post id, then we can see, if I click on it, then we can see the post id is present over here, right? And let me check it. This is the post id which starts with kv, and here is the post id, and for this post, this is the post from Android emulator. So we are seeing the correct post id. Now we can use this post id to delete this post from our Firestore database. And here we have two scenarios while deleting the post. One is the post with this kind of data, which is containing an image and text content. So for this kind of post, we need to delete the post data. This is okay, we can delete it from the collection of our data. But here for the post image, we are storing the image URL. We are not storing the image. Our image is stored in Firebase storage, and that will not get deleted if we are deleting this data only. So we need to make sure, if we are deleting this data, along with this data, if the image is present with this post, then we will delete that image file from our storage as well. And if the post doesn't contain any post image, then we will not delete that file from storage because we don't have any. We will only proceed with this data deletion process. So for the post id, first we need to get the post data to check if post image is present or not. So it will be Firestore, then our collection, and our collection is post collection. Then we will look for the post with this post id. So that's why we have used this doc method, and then we will get it. After getting it, we can get the document snapshot, and if document snapshot exists, then we will get the data by this data method, and we will get this post image data. And if post image is not equal to null, that means we have image present for this post. Now first we need to proceed with the deleting that image from the Firebase storage. So we need to create the reference for the storage, and for that we need to use storage. So we can import storage from Firebase storage, then we can use it over here. And then we will use this ref from URL. We are getting the URL by this post image, and by this URL we will create an reference to this storage, and then we will create reference to this image. So like this we are creating the reference to our image, and then we can delete it. Now here we can display a message to our console for a successful deletion, and for any kind of error we can catch it, and then we can output it to our console. After we are deleting the image from our storage, we need to delete the post from Firestore. So here we will delete the Firestore data. So I will create this function, and in this function I will pass the post id. So after this function, after this delete post, I will create this delete Firestore data function, and here we will get this post id. And now it is pretty easy to delete the data from Firestore. So Firestore, then the collection, our collection is post. Now select the post with this post id and then delete it. And after deletion, For successful delete, we can output a message to the user that the post has been deleted successfully. And we can do that by an alert message. So post deleted, your post has been deleted successfully. And for any kind of error, we will catch it and we will display it. Save it. Now test it once. So we have this post. Let's see. So this is the Android emulator post. Here the post is present. Now we will click on this button. So it has been done properly, but there is some problem also. Here we can see the response, current post ID, and then we can see the response that has been deleted successfully with the URL. So the image has been deleted successfully from the storage. So here we are not seeing that Android emulator image, but then we are seeing that error deleting post and can't find the variable alert. I am showing an alert message over here, and this alert should be imported from React Native. Now after saving it, we can see that it has been updated automatically and that post has been disappeared. So that means from our Firestore also it has been deleted successfully. So our delete process has been done properly, but we haven't seen the message because of this alert import. Now let's add few more posts quickly. So now I have added few posts from our Android emulator, and within our storage we can see that these two images has been added. Right, now let's go back to our home screen, and here we can see those posts. Right, now first delete this one. So this image will be deleted. Now click over here. So post has been deleted successfully. Right now it's not getting updated, so that's why it's still showing, but our database has been updated. Now let's refresh this. So here we can see that image has been deleted from the storage, and in our Firestore now we can see 5 posts has been present. Before we had 6. So the Firestore data also has been deleted. Now save it once, so it has been refreshed. Now I want to add the functionality to re-render this component after deleting the post. So for that, within this home screen, I will add this deleted state, and by using use effect hook, we can do any functionality by providing any dependency within this array. So here I will provide this deleted. By default it has the false value, and after successful deletion I will update this set deleted to true, and by this our deleted value is being changed. Now within this I can pass this fetch post function to fetch the post again, and to use that I need to shift this function out of this use effect. So I can cut it from here, and now I can use it outside of this use effect. So right now by default whenever our screen is rendered, that time it will fetch post. Again it will fetch post if we are deleting any post, and again after deleting I will change this to default value. Now check it once. So here this post is present, hello from Android. Now click over here. Okay, right now it has been stopped. It is coming to this function, but after this it's not going to this process. And okay, it's not going to this process because we have mentioned if post image is not equal to null, then we will delete it. Otherwise, if the post image is null, then what it needs to do, I haven't implemented that yet. So for this else case, so that means if the post image is not available, for this case we need to delete our Firestore data. Now save it. Now click over here. So it has been deleted, and automatically our screen re-renders. So it has been updated automatically. and here also we can see that post has been deleted, right? So it's working perfectly. Now I want to display a confirmation message. After clicking on over here, a dialog box will be appeared, and then if the user confirms it, then it will be deleted. So for that, here I will create another function called handle delete, and this function also will accept this post ID, and this is the function which will be passed over here. Handle delete will be passed over here. So first here I will handle the dialog box, so it will be an alert box. Now after this cancel button, I will display confirm, and for confirm I will call this delete post, and within this delete post I will pass this post ID, and it will be not cancelable. Now save it. After saving it, now click over here. Now after clicking on this button, we are seeing this delete post. Are you sure? If I cancel it, then we are not deleting that post. So cancel has been pressed, right? So we are not deleting the post. So here we can see that the post is not getting deleted. So this is the post, hello from Android emulator, right? Hello from Android emulator. And if we are clicking on confirm, then we are deleting it. Okay, so post has been deleted successfully, and it is updated automatically, right? And here also we can see that it has been deleted. So it's working perfectly. Now let me add few posts here quickly, and then finally we will test it to iOS simulator. So these two posts has been added. Now I will open this in our iOS simulator. Okay, so our app is running on iOS simulator, right? And over here these are the posts which is not created by this user, and these are the posts which is created by this user. So we are seeing this trash bin icon. So let me delete this post from here. So are you sure? If we cancel it, then it's not doing anything. If we are clicking on confirm, then it's getting deleted. So post has been deleted and it's been automatically updated, right? So that's how it's working. Now I want to update one last thing, which is this timestamp. I want to change this timestamp. This timestamp also dynamic. It's coming from our database. I want to change this to display like few minutes ago or few hours ago or 1 day, 2 days ago, that kind of message. And for that we will use a library called moment.js, and we can install it by using this command. So npm install moment. Now hit enter. Okay, so it has been installed. Now within our card component, first we need to import moment from moment package. Now we can use it to format our timestamp. So here we are converting it to string, but right now we will convert it to date first, and then we will wrap it with moment, and after this we will provide this from now. Now save it. Now after saving it, we can see that an hour ago, 4 hours ago, so like this kind of message, few minutes ago, 8 minutes ago, this kind of message we are seeing, and this looking good. So that's how we can create post, delete it, and we are also deleting the image from storage as well. Okay, so lots of things has been covered within this tutorial. Right now we are not handling the user profile. Later we will handle that, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And if you are still not subscribed to my channel, then subscribe to it for more tutorials like this. So this is the tutorial, guys. I hope you have learned something new from this tutorial. If you do so, then let me know by commenting down below, and I'm definitely sure you have already subscribed to it if you are still watching the tutorial. And don't forget to share this tutorial with your friends and colleagues, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial. In the meantime, have a great day. Goodbye.